What comes to mind when you think of holiday destinations? Dubai, Qatar, Hawaii, the Maldives, the tropical beaches, the futuristic landscapes. Oh, it's just so surreal. But to any ethnic household across the globe, whether you are African, Asian, European, wherever it may be, we all know there's only one place to go, the pinpoint location, and that's to go back to your home country and stay at your relative's house. Now for me, this wasn't a little week or two holiday that maybe throughout the stay you spend the night at a nice fancy hotel. No. For me, it was 7 months in flipping Africa. Now for privacy reasons, I'm not going to explain what led me to be there for such a long period of time, but there is just one topic that's been bothering the back of my mind, a topic I just had to touch on, and that's the school life in Africa. Hold on, before we get into the man's got the key guy. Now the shiki. Hold on, I feel like soldier boy, I be the want me cranky, want me roll, want me crank that soldier boy, Superman, oh, now want me you, now want me you, now want me you. Unlike schools in the UK, in order to actually get into an African school, you can't just enroll into one. You gotta do an exam to see the level that you're currently at. There was a school right opposite my grandparents' house called Awat. If you know about Mpanada, you know about Awat. It wasn't some prestigious school, but it was close, convenient, and at the time I actually thought it was a pretty nice school, so my mind was always set on that. So the day comes to visit the school and do the enrollment exam. Mind you, I am 7 years old. I ain't no kid genius, just a brother from ends, a goofy one in fact. So tell me why they gave me an exam for someone that's in year 4. I'm shocked, bamboozled, discombobulated. Like, these guys do know I'm in year 1, right? Just because I'm from the UK and can speak fluent English, they think I can do this light. So what did you expect was going to happen? I completely flopped the exam, which led me no choice but to enroll in a school in the city. You guys must be thinking, what's the problem there? Yeah, alhamdulillah, now countries in Africa are rapidly developing, which is very good for the economy. Tourism is up, businesses opportunities are there. But this was in 2012. All I'm gonna say is, it was ghetto. If your school was in the city, a public school in the city, you were in the Bronx. Oh, blah, bang, bang. And mind you, my dad is a fresh, pure-blooded African man. And one thing about underdeveloped countries is that you gotta grow up fast. So he tells me you gotta learn to make your own way there and back. Hey! I'm looking at him like, are you crazy? Are you mad? I'm in a whole different country. No, a whole different continent. I barely even know my way around certain places in the UK to this day. But my dad, bro, especially at that time, bro, he was big, bro. If he wanted to do anything, he would do by himself on feet, nigga on feet. He was scary. So I said, yes, boss, okay. But enough about that. I want to get into that later because this story is about to go left very, very soon. I just barely scraped the pass mark, but hey, fresh home, I'm in a school now. Let me tell you my first impressions on my very first day being here. Pure fear. Because tell me why, they have us all lined up checking every student whether or not we've cut our nails. Wallahi, I kid you not, the teacher was going one by one telling each student to show their fingers. If your nails are long or even dirty, you're gonna get hit with a stick. One by one, they're getting closer. Keep it a book. What 7-year-old is taking care of himself? What 7-year-old even knows what personal hygiene is? We're tramps! But by the grace of Allah, I happened to be at the end of the line. So I came up with a genius idea. I start biting off my nails. Anytime I see you're gone, khalas, shot with a bayonet, dead. You would have thought that I was a nitty the way I was moving. You would have thought I was a rabid dog the way I was moving. I was fully no, I was relentless. But then the teacher finally gets to me. I show my nails, busted up, but they're short. The teacher gives me a look, gives a little nod, and we're now heading into class. I'll be real with you guys, I was not the most academically gifted person growing up. Matter of fact, I was hella slow, but there was one topic I excelled in, and that was English. Any other subject was a long day, but English was my forte. For some reason, I just love languages and I enjoyed reading books. I remember people were calling me boss simply because of the fact I could speak fluent English. There were even days I corrected the teacher and the kids would start laughing their heads off, leading me to get beat, but hey,
I'm going to stand on business.
The second it was English class, everyone wanted to be my friend. Plus everyone was talking to me anyway since I was from the UK, so they were just fascinated at everything I said. The classes I don't remember much. I just remember wanting to finish and go home. If it was maths, silence. Science, silence. Any other subject but English, I am not engaging. However, I did recall one memory. One day when I was in class, there was a student that just kept on annoying me. Every single day just saying utter nonsense. Usually when this happens, I just don't retaliate and they eventually move on. But this guy was persistent. This guy was resilient. And one day, I cracked. We started scrapping. This is my first ever fight, guys. I've never been in a fight until this point here. And to be honest, I was winning. I don't know what he said that led me to be so angry, but there was a point I had pushed him towards the window, held his head hanging out like I was about to get an M charge. The teacher then quickly broke it up. I burst into tears explaining what happened. And guess what? Our boss case, you know? He got beat and I didn't. And after that, he never bothered me again. Let's see if you guys were paying attention. Do you guys remember a few minutes back when I was talking about the interaction between me and my dad on the topic of getting to school and back on my own? Let me explain to you why that was a terrible idea. It was a normal day at school. Same old, students glazing me, I'm just doing my subjects, blah, 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 blah. Usually at the end of the day, I would sit and wait for someone to pick me up. But no one came. Time had passed and still nothing. Bro was not kidding. I had to find myself back home in the busy streets of Africa. I'm panicking, I'm geeking, I'm losing my mind, trying to figure out which one was the right dada. Pause. For those who don't know, dada is basically a bus and Uber share fusion combination. Because it's not a bus, it does what a bus does, but it's not the size of a bus, it's the size of a minibus. That's why I think it's like an Uber share, because it can only bring in a certain amount of people. But instead of it being a normal bus ride or Uber ride, there's a guy hanging out of it. He's jiggling coins and cat calling gal. Well, that's the guy, that's the ticket man. It's not the driver, that's the ticket inspector. He's the ticket inspector. You get your money, get your ticket, you go. And if you've been TZ, you know how hectic these things can be. These men are crazy fast yet efficient, but to a 7-year-old, it looked like a war zone. In the middle of dozens, trying to figure out which one was the right one. And subhanallah, Allah really does create miracles. Because if I had chosen the wrong one, I wouldn't be sitting here today making this video. I see one I think that is right. I just hop in, not even considering the fact if it's the right one or not. I just had the feeling it was this one. And lo and behold, guess who happens to be in that dala? My auntie. No word of a lie, I run straight to her. I'm talking boogers coming down my nose, a water full of tears, just hugging her tightly the whole way home. She addresses the situation to the others. Then me and my dad have a sit down chat. At this point in the story, you might be thinking, he comforted you, made you feel comfortable, make sure people get you next time. No. No. You wanna know what the first thing he said to me was? Why you cry? I'm looking at bro bamboozled. What are you talking about? Why I cry? He said again, why you cry? You're still here? What's the problem? I didn't even know what to say at that point. I'm like, what do you even say? But hey man, I'm still here. Thanks for the content, Dad. There were probably more moments that happened, but this was so long ago. I just remember the highlights. But it's not just school I went to. I also went to Madrasa. For the non-Muslims, it's like Islamic school, Islamic studies. You get the point, however you want to call it. As you guys can clearly tell, I'm a Muslim. So it's a no-brainer for me to go to Madrasa. Once again, everything just happens to be so close to each other. Like the masjid was a 30-second walk and the Madrasa was literally right opposite it. So I'm going there, just reading Quran, learning the deen, things of that nature. Things are going well. But I forget one thing. I'm in Africa. And especially at the time, do you really think rules exist? And if they did, do you really think people would follow them? Bro, the stuff I've seen cannot be forgotten. Every kid makes a mistake whilst reciting the Quran. That's normal, it's part of life. But if you repeat a mistake or you don't know the surah for a long period of time, there will be consequences. There was a moment I remember so vividly that made me never miss a day of practicing, never make a single mistake in the Quran. I'm in Madrasa, reading my surah as you do. I'm up next after another guy. The guy clearly didn't practice and was making so much mistakes, so he was bound to get a beating. I was not surprised here. But this wasn't your usual beating. No. Let me explain why. No word of a lie. Wallahi billahi ta'ala, the ustad got up, got the Baqarah and shoved it in the student's mouth and started beating him up relentlessly like this guy stole money from him, like this guy killed his family. Why do you need to be doing all that? And he goes, yeah, you're next. I said, oh no. But luckily, I practiced my surah, so I was good. I made a few mistakes here and there, but not to the point to get beat because of one man, my goat, Babu Najim, my grandfather. Because of him, big drip, big dog, I never got in trouble that much. Cause this guy is respected around the streets, bro. You don't know about prime Babu Najim, this guy, not even prime, even to this day. He's still that guy. I don't want to glaze him too much because the family law is too family lawing, but I'm just going to keep it at that. And yeah, that's my experience. I hope you laughed a little, you know, you learned something new. Maybe some people can relate, maybe not. I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like it's just fun. It's just fun, nice. It's a fun, nice story. But yeah, inshallah, I'm gonna post more and figure out what going with the thing. I need to do an outro. What's it called? Salami, eggs, and bacon. I've been one Najmi Idha Hawa, and I'll see you later.